really excited this year because the Data Awards have gone national for the first time. We have presenters coming from all around the world, the United States and beyond. We have over 75 participants from around the globe that are competing for our as finalists in our awards this evening.
We are all rapidly evolving individuals. And what this is really is an invitation for you to be compassionate to this process, recognizing that we have more information that's coming at us now than ever before. We have more possibility and opportunity to publish and share and create things than ever before. But this process is a journey, and at the center of it is us as individuals. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, these physical bodies, our emotional hearts, our mental energy and our focus, as well as even just our connection to spirit or the engagement of purpose in our life.
I think it's important for people around the country to recognize that Pittsburgh is a city for not only the creation of art, but also a center for technology that makes this a business for our community, an economy for our community.
And we've been asked to attend today to talk about the relevance of technology and digital filmmaking today and how it makes life so much easier for us. Isn't that right, guys?
That's right. That's right.
The idea that what's happening in Pittsburgh, and from my perspective in film, is not happening anywhere else. It's happening in Pittsburgh, and I like to say that Pittsburgh is a city of overachievers because relatively we're a small city, but the things that are happening here in tech, in art, in so many sectors is it's impressive. And I don't say that to appease to make me feel good. I say that because I'm observing it. I'm seeing it happening all over the city.
If you are playing a video game, for example, you are bound by the boundaries of the video game, right? You cannot think beyond what the game would want you to do, right? But when you are open, when you have a canvas, when you have a program, there's no limit, right? So you can just think beyond whatever you could think, and it enhances your confidence that this is something you can create.
We love your idea so much. It's a mini, if you've ever heard the MacArthur Genius Grants, where they just give money to somebody who they think is awesome to do something. We do that on a very small scale by giving $1,000 and letting you run with it, hoping that you create something great with it, but not taking any action if nothing happens with it. Because we want people to feel like they can experiment.
What we're talking about today is using the idea of story and narrative as a thinking tool, as a way to get from what's happening in the world to how do we want to affect it. And so if we can take story as a way that people across a bunch of different disciplines can understand and move to a shared understanding with the customer, and then edit that and change until it's really a rich story that we think is something that can be really successful. And we're talking about ways to do that and ways to use story as a thinking tool to accomplish that.
I think that it's really important to just get your ideas out there. If there's something you're passionate about, work on refining it, work on telling the story around it, and get it out there and see how people respond to it. You never know how you can change the conversation with an idea.
I think one thing I would say is I think designers need to constantly think 10 years in the future, looking at existing technologies, existing trends of today, and how they can transform over time, and mapping out the potential of that trajectory to predict the future so we can plan for it better.
It's important to bring an international community to Pittsburgh to discover what Catherine knows. And the rest, she's in the arts, and what the rest of us are discovering. And I think our right sizing allows techs, animators, traditional thespians, filmmakers to all work together, because there shouldn't be that much clutter.
Exactly.
I know a lot about what she's been up to, and she's, serial entrepreneur. She's totally interesting. She has worked in, she's spun a company that is called Raising Careerists, if you know anything about that space. But what's really most intriguing to me is that she's always pushed beyond the lines.
I want to know, how many of you are artists? How many of you are business people? How many of you didn't raise your hand? I'm just curious, like, what are you? Educator, oh right, forgot. We're in Pittsburgh, of course, there are educators here. Okay. The problem for most people is that they think that they know what they love, but they don't know where that fits in the getting paid arena. It's not a set list of what you love, which just underlines how ridiculous it is for people to do what they love. What we really love is to feel valued. And it's primarily why we don't get paid to have sex or eat, because nobody values that as a job. Nobody's like, guess what my daughter's doing? She's eating, right? Nobody admires that. Your friends, nobody ever did anything great while they were starving. And my favorite example of this is Herman Melville writing Moby Dick. That he was so emphatic that he had to get Moby Dick finished that he took the food out of his kids' mouths. So his kids were starving and his wife was starving while he was writing his book. And I mean, we can criticize that and have a feminist 101 discussion about should we have them in the canon because of that. But we do know that from the time of Herman Melville, no one has been able to do anything great in terms of art if they're starving, if they're worried about a roof over their head, and you're not going to be able to either. So instead of doing what we love, then what do? We have to find the intersection between something that we do like to do and money, because we're not going to feel valued if we're not getting paid for it.
The best thing we can do in order to mesh art and business is to be both true to ourselves but also pinpoint what people value about what we have to offer and focus on that. There are a lot of things that we have to offer, but only a few that are going to actually make money, and that's the secret to the intersection between art and technology and business.
It's been important for me because it's allowed me to put together all these ideas into a cohesive whole. Basically, the image that's projected through this camera obscura allows people to see how our eye works, so we can kind of examine how we see and how we see the world. And the other part to that is the sphere and the geodesic structure, which has a lot to do with social sustainability. So tonight has been a great opportunity for me to get these ideas out there.
By a mix of industry expert weigh-ins and over 10,000 nationwide online votes. How about that?
And the winner is a tie between Alpha Lab